Hello students, today we will be seeing the different relationships that we have with family and friends. In this lesson, you are going to learn about interdependent relationships and also the different kinds of attachment styles that individuals develop over their lifespan. And apart from that, we are also going to see the kind of loneliness that people will experience, especially those who are not able to have successful relationships with their family and friends. All of us, we have different kinds of experiences in our life, but the first relationships that we develop are those with our family members. Right from birth till old age, we are continuously being exposed to different kinds of relationships. Now, some of these relationships we enjoy, some we really do not want to enter into, but because of certain factors, we have to continue those relationships whether we like them or not. And relationship with family and friends are some of the important relationships that we have in our lives. The relationship with family especially begins right from the stage of infancy. In fact, present day research points out that even the prenatal environment that the baby is exposed to is going to begin the marking of relationships. Even small babies as old as 2 months, they start having some kind of relationship, especially with the caregivers. You can see that 2-month and 3-month-old babies, they try to respond to the people around them by developing what we call as the social smile. And also long before they can utter their first word, they start exchanging communication with people around them by using babbling voices. So, babies try to maintain relationship or try to establish relationships with people around them by adopting their own means. It is during infancy and also childhood where certain relationship patterns emerge. And after one crosses childhood, they go on to establish other new relationships such as relationship with peers, relationship with colleagues, and also intimate relationships such as romantic relationships and marriage relationships. Whatever the kind of relationships that we enter into, all these relationships have one common factor. All of them are based on commitment, and secondly, all of them are based on trust. And one common factor that is there for all kinds of relationships is interdependence. So, this interdependence is common across all age groups and also across all kinds of relationships. The interdependent relationship can be defined as interpersonal association wherein the people who are involved try to influence each other's lives continuously. Not only that, they also focus a lot on the cognitive and social reactions of each other. Bowlby is the one who has done lot of research in the kind of relationships that a person has, and his theories are based on practical observations. He has observed numerous infants and their mothers. He observed what kind of relationships that infants have with their mothers and also what kind of relationships that mothers have with infants. So, his theory, which is called attachment styles theory, is based actually on practical observation, unlike many other theories that are first formed and then researchers try to practically observe them. So, Bowlby's theory is really very valid because it is coming directly from practical observation. And Bowlby, he has tried to identify the important criteria of relationships, and according to him, all these relationships are especially based on developing self-esteem and trust. Self-esteem happens, according to him, when the caregiver tries to give some kind of communication to the infant that the infant is loved, that the infant is respected, and the infant is really unique. So, because of this kind of behavior by the caregiver, and the caregiver can be sometimes mother, sometimes father, and or grandparent or any other person who spends lot of time, quality time with the infant. So, this caregiver, because of their behavior, they try to send signals to the infant that they are loved and accepted. That is when self-esteem in the infant develops. And trust is another important criteria or ingredient for successful relationship, according to Bowlby. And this trust develops when the infant tries to understand that the caregiver is someone whom he or she can rely on, and who feels that the caregiver is really loving and understanding. That is when the infant tries to respond positively to the caregiver. Coming to self-esteem, there is an interesting experiment that I would like to relate, which is done by Harlow. In his experiment, he took a chimpanzee. Unfortunately, that chimpanzee lost its mother during infancy. And taking this opportunity, what Harlow did is, he took this baby chimpanzee and he put it in a closed room, and in that room he prepared two kinds of surrogate mothers. One kind of surrogate mother is made up of a wide mesh, and the second kind of surrogate mother that Harlow has arranged for the baby chimpanzee is a teddy cloth mother, someone who is very soft and very warm. The other mother, the wire monkey, is not warm and is made up of wide mesh. Harlow has seen to it that he arranges the feeding bottle to the wide monkey, and sometimes he put it to the teddy bear monkey. But what he has observed is, when he had put the feeding bottle onto the wide monkey for a relatively long period of time, in spite of that, the baby monkey, he observed, is spending lot of time with the teddy bear monkey. So, only when the baby chimpanzee feels hungry, it goes to the wire monkey and feeds itself. But in any other situation, and most of the time in the day, Harlow observed that this baby chimpanzee is in fact spending more time with the teddy bear monkey. So, from this he has concluded that just giving or just satisfying the basic needs of the infant is not enough to establish a trustworthy relationship. So, it is important that the caregiver spends lot of quality time with the infant, and lot of warmth is required in establishing a successful relationship. And Harlow also observed another thing. He had made a big noise outside the experimental room where the baby monkey was kept. Then he observed that the baby monkey, at that time it was playing around in the room, but as soon as it hears this loud noise, it does not rush to the wide monkey, but it rushes to the teddy bear monkey. So, this confirmed that the baby is in fact seeking solace with the teddy bear monkey, even though the teddy bear monkey was not feeding it. So, this important experiment speaks a lot about how successful relationships are established quite early in life, and what are the ingredients that go into establishing a successful relationship. Bowlby, in his research on relationships, identified 4 different kinds of attachment styles. The first one is secure attachment style, second one is fearful avoidant style, and the third one is preoccupied attachment style, while the fourth he identified as dismissing attachment style. Coming to the first one, the secure attachment style. In this secure attachment style, the person feels very secure in the relationship and the person feels confident, lot of self-esteem is developed, and the person also feels that he or she can be or is worthy of love. The person also feels that the other people around him or her are also worthy of love and affection. So, he seeks love and affection from others. He also does the best to give love and affection to others around. So, this kind of secure attachment style is the best attachment style where the person is happy with the relationships that he or she has, and not only that, other people who are having a relationship with this person also feels very happy and satisfied with the kind of relationship that they are having with him or her. So, in this secure attachment style, the caregiver has tried to establish not only self-esteem, but also trust. So, because of that, the person all along the life has confidence himself or herself and also has confidence in others. So, they can maintain trust in their relationships, which is a very, very essential requirement for a relationships. Going on to the next attachment style that Bowlby has identified, that is the fearful avoidant style. So, in this people who fall in this category, they feel that others are unworthy of their love and also they themselves are unworthy of love. So, these people who come into this category, the fearful avoidant style, since they do not have a good opinion about themselves, nor do they have good opinion about others, they really lead a miserable, lonely life. They feel that others do not deserve their love. And when anyone tries to come and give some kind of support to these people, they do not accept it because they feel that they do not deserve such kind of support from others. And these people have difficulty in establishing trust relationships. The third category that Bowlby has identified is the preoccupied attachment style. In this style, the person is over-indulgent, they are over-emotional and they feel that others are really very, very worthy, and these kind of people are highly emotional in all kinds of relationships. They try to emphasize lot of importance. The preoccupied attachment style person is the one whom we see falls head over heels about any new kind of relationship that he or she enters. So, they expect strong dependency on others, and they also maintain positive self-regard only if the other person tries to praise them or approves them. So, these people have low self-esteem, but their self-esteem gets boosted up if the partner tries to encourage them and support them. So, the is preoccupied with their own kind of needs and requirements, and they are always demanding on the partners and they want full attention always. if the partner or the other person in the relationship doesn't give importance to them, they feel that something is wrong with them. So that is why the other person is behaving like that. So many times they keep on inquiring them, what is wrong with them, what they have to do more to be more satisfying. Even if the other person says, no, everything is fine, still they are not convinced, and so they keep on inquiring, and finally the other person will get so fed up that they will leave from that relationship. So these are the characteristics of the preoccupied type. Now coming on to the dismissing attachment style, these people have a high sense of themselves but low sense of others. So they feel that they are worthy of love and attention from others, but there is no one who is worthy of their own love and attention. So people who enter into relationships with the dismissive attachment style person will have a tough time trying to please this person, because whatever they do, this person tries to find some fault or the other with them. So because they have a high opinion about themselves, they cannot really find the right kind of relationship, and many times the dismissing the attachment style person will finally be left alone. So they are the ones who are most likely to suffer from loneliness towards the end of their life, because they have been always highly critical of others and they are not willing to share or have trust with others. So the other partner, if there is a chance, they will just escape out, leaving this person alone. So these are the 4 attachment styles that Bowlby explains with the different kind of characteristic traits. He did a lot of research, and there is also supportive evidence regarding the kind of attachment styles that he has identified. So in this module, we will see the various characteristics of loneliness and how people will feel when they are lonely, what are the reasons why they had become lonely, and we will also end finally with how we can help people suffering from loneliness to come out of their loneliness and to establish successful relationships. Now loneliness is obviously life without any kind of relationships. It is a condition which is a sort of an emotional and cognitive reaction to not having friends or family with whom they have successful relationships. Loneliness is prevalent in all cultures, in all age groups, and also it is present even among the highly educated, persons with high socioeconomic status, people with low socioeconomic status. So loneliness, to say in one word, is highly prevalent and is present across all age groups and all socioeconomic backgrounds. And alarmingly, the prevalence of loneliness is on the increase today. So it is important for us to identify loneliness when it is in the beginning stages, because if loneliness is left undiagnosed and not treated, it is most likely to lead to depression. And depression, it will not end there, it is going to finally result in suicide. There are many people who become depressed one time or the other in their lives. But when they become depressed, if they have some family and friends with whom they have successful relationships, they will try to pull these people out. But what is the case of a person who is lonely? In times of need, that is when they experience depression, there will be no one to help them, nor do these people go and seek help. So finally, many of them resort to suicides. So one of the leading causes for depressed people to adopt to suicide is loneliness. So this loneliness is of 2 types. One is dispersonal loneliness and the second one is situational loneliness. Dispersonal loneliness As the name suggests, it is loneliness that has resulted as a result of the certain personality makeup of the person, the kind of dispersonal tendencies that the person has got either from genetic means or by during infancy and childhood. That is dispersonal loneliness. So, dispersonal loneliness, for example, is a person say has lost parents quite early in life, and this person is brought up in an orphanage, and so in the orphanage there is no good caregiver who helped him or her in developing trust and self-esteem. So, because of that, this person from the beginning did not develop successful skills in establishing of a relationship. So, that is why this person is not able to have successful relationships, which finally results in loneliness. Another example of dispersonal loneliness can be seen. You can see that in some families there will be members who talk very less. Even among them, if you go and visit their home, it will be full of silence, and hardly the members talk with each other, and everyone keeps on doing about their work as if they are like robots. But whereas in some other families, always there will be lot of noise that they make, they keep on chit chatting almost all the time, and they actively engage in many group activities together. So, a person who comes from the first kind of family where the parents or the grandparents, they do not interact much, and also the siblings do not interact much, such a person might be certainly having some sort of genetic makeup where every one of them are not really sociable. So, that is an example of a person having dispersonal loneliness. So, this person, although might try to enter some important relationships, if the other person is also of a dispersonal loneliness type, they will continue to have the relationship. But if the other person is of a highly sociable nature, then sooner or later they will try to come out of the relationship, and then this person will be left in loneliness. So, you can see in many diverse cases. This is one important factor which leads to divorce, where one of the partner is not happy with the kind of communicative skills that the other person has. Everything might be fine, both of them might be highly educated and financially they are sound, but if one of the partner feels that the other person is not responding enough, is not communicative enough, because of probably dispersonal characteristic traits, because everyone in their family is like that, these such people opt out of the relationship, and this person is left in loneliness. Coming to situational loneliness, if suppose there is a person who is having very successful happy relationships, but suddenly when they went to a tour, they had an accident when every one of their family members or most of the family members, especially the significant family members, have died. So, such a person is, because of situational factors, is led into leading a lonely life. Probably they can never recoup back, because they cannot get all the family members back and all the relationships back. Of course, they cannot get such relationships as mother and father back. So, because of the situational factors also, some people will be led to leading lonely lives. So, in order to understand how to help the person to come out of loneliness, one has to first decide to which category that they belong. Do they belong to dispersonal loneliness category, or do they belong to situational loneliness category? First, let us see what are the consequences of being lonely. Now, it is only via relationships that a person leads a happy and healthy life. So, a person who is lonely is not able to enjoy the life, and they will have very few outings, and they cannot do things with others, and there are many things in life that have to be shared, and we can enjoy doing those things only if we do it with others, say family or friends. For example, if the person is a cricket fan and they want to see a cricket being played in the stadium, if the person has to go all alone, the person cannot really enjoy much. But if the person goes with a group of friends or family, if the family members are interested in cricket, then only there will be enjoyment in doing that activity. So these people, if they are facing loneliness, they really dread holidays, and they also dread having some kind of festival season, because everyone else will be spending value time with their family or friends, but because these people are lonely, they will not have anyone more, and during the holiday season they will really feel the pangs of loneliness much more than during normal routine activities. And these people who are lonely, they tend to neglect themselves gradually. So that is another consequence, and because of the neglect, they might be skipping meals, or they may not really eating healthy foodstuffs, or which all results in it affects the health of the individual. And a lonely person also might be neglecting in many other aspects, to such a degree that the person will not take care of even physical needs. And there are many occasions when the lonely person finally tries to withdraw slowly from the social world, and they become depressed, and if still there is no help, the person will finally might commit suicide. So the consequences of loneliness are really heavy. Now let us go into understanding how to help these people come out of loneliness. The first thing that all psychologists prescribe is for them to take up what we call a social skills training. Social skills training is a systematic method of teaching them how to enter a relationship, and how to progress with the relationship, and how to have a successful relationship. In social skills training, these people will be given lot of exercises where they have to role play, and during the role play they are taught what to do and what not to do in a relationship, and the feedback component is also involved. So taking up social skills training really helps a person to develop social skills to have successful relationships. So to summarize, today in this lesson we have seen what are the kinds of relationships that a person has, and also the kind of attachment styles that people develop, and finally we have seen the loneliness, its characteristics, and also how to help people overcome loneliness. Thank you.